Welcome to Singapore International Online English Toastmaster Club. I am Alicia, your acting sergeant at arms for the club. This meeting will be recorded. Should you wish not to be included, you may switch off your webcam, and the video camera control is found at the bottom left corner of your screen. Although we encourage everyone to show your smiles and beautiful faces and your reaction, we will respect your choice. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day, Lee Buckley.
It's Vikana, the Toastmaster.
Thank you, Alicia, for passing on the baton to me. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a glorious day, evening, afternoon, or night, wherever you're located. I saw a couple of people who were from different areas. I saw them earlier on the screen, but I don't know if they've fallen off or they've decided just to take a quick break and step away. But welcome to all. It is a glorious day, and today's meeting theme, I don't know if any of you have seen it yet, is creativity. So you will see some of us in various attire. I would also encourage all of you throughout the speech and throughout the meeting to go out, get something, put a hat on, maybe put a pencil as a mustache, do something creative, have fun. That's what you're here for this evening. I have a couple of people helping me out on my various roles for this evening. I have a person who is going to be counting your pause fillers and any repeated words or restarts, and that is Siaful. Can I have the spotlight on Siaful? If he is visible, can you guys see him? That's okay. Moving on to the next person, Siaful will also be playing the role of an evaluator. So he will be wearing two hats. You will see him a little bit later on in the evening. Next person who we have is a timer. This lady plays a very important role in meeting. She makes sure that everybody meets the minimum goals and does not exceed the timing set out by the various objectives. I'm going to have Billy just spotlight Doreen for a minute. And Doreen is holding up a hand, and the spotlight has not swapped over. It is swapping over to our table topics lady, which we will introduce in just a minute. Our next person who's going to be assisting us this evening is going to be our grammarian. Our grammarian will be giving us the word of the day. She's also going to give us feedback on how we've spoken. Have we used certain spectacular words, or have we made certain mistakes while speaking? Let me have Lee Buckley get spotlighted. She is the person wearing the red cap, if you guys can see her. And we have the spotlight going back to Adeline. Adeline likes to be in the limelight. No, I'm just kidding. I am totally kidding. It's just purely a joke. Moving on to the next person. We have a general evaluator who is not present at the moment. He will be joining us in just another minute, not another minute. He will be joining us later on throughout the meeting. And his name is Gerald, and you will hear his report at the end. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be passing on the baton to Adeline, who is going to be our table topic master for the day. So here you go, Adeline. Here it comes. Get ready to grab it. Are you ready, Adeline?
Mr. Toastmaster of the evening, the president will give his opening first.
Okay. I guess we were in the rush to start onto our table topic, so we decided to just hurdle over our club president, but we usually don't like to do that. So Billy, let me pass the floor back to you, and so that you can do the club president's opening remarks. Here you go, Billy. Here's the baton coming back to you. Please grab it. And there you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Fellow Toastmaster, past district director that is in the presence of various districts. Creativity leadership drives productivity and fosters success in a company or an organization. Creativity is one of the most important qualities of a modern business leader. Creativity itself is the abundance of rigid structure, a very desirable trait for individuals in leadership positions to have in a corporate setting. Creative leaders have the ability to look at things in a new way and solve problems by seeing things others don't see. Synchronized of creativity includes words like inventiveness, imagination, innovative, visual, progressive, originality, and resourcefulness, just to name a few. All of these are characteristics of successful creativity leaders who are changing our world today. The role of creativity in leadership is vital to any organization's survival in the ever-changing business and culture climate that exists today. A survey by IT tech giant IBM. Creativity is the most important creative leadership quality star. There are many advantages to creative leadership being company, including problem solving, achieving growth, mentoring teams in the workplace, finding unlikely perception being a business. Each of the advantage of creativity, leadership, and their application to a business are listed below. New type of problem solving, achieving goals and growth. Fostering a positive workplace mentality. Finding unlikely perspectives. Strategy. What's the strategy of growing as a creative leader? Continue to educate yourself, attend industry events, rely on the team and allow them to grow. Deliver true leadership. Take schedule time to be creative, have fun. Creative leadership helps problem solving and inspire. As a Toastmaster, we are taught to listen, think, speak, and do. Many Toastmasters, whether who are not for Singapore, will not know why really so that's me is doing this differently in Toastmaster as compared to the traditional way. Because really is usually is creative thinking to find ways to enhance awareness, publicity to attract the members of public, be it local or international. He still follow the guidelines of Toastmaster International. People may misunderstood his way of doing where he won't bother to explain but show by action because it's better to show by action than talking a lot. This my action have increased many of the members, many people, many Toastmasters of that regular in creative thinking, in how they want to promote their clubs to the community. Means that what I did was slowly replicate to the clubs. Fellow Toastmasters and friends and past district director. We are all still having the normal Toastmaster club traditional way of running a Toastmaster meeting. Tonight, this team, we have a team base who help to manage the club meeting, to help the BPE of the club and the president to run the chapter meeting using creativity thinking. Some of you may see in the gallery mode, some of them are very nice costume where the SA wear of the club, who's the incoming VP, wear some costume like a band. And our lavish evaluator, who is our incoming vice president of public relationship, have Pikachu and wearing a red cap. Our table topic master was earlier wearing a red riding hood skirt dress. Right, Andy? Yeah. She don't know where's a red cap as a red one. And I see our Toastmaster of the day who wears so formal. Apart from me, I should wear formal too. Our timer, Doreen, was wearing a Chinese costume, a chosun, which you all will get to see her later. This is how creativity, and you saw something just now in your screen. We have a piece of paper. This is a different way of passing the paper. Using the normal situation, we use a gravel. But online, we use a piece of paper to pass the control. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Billy, on passing the baton back on to me. It is a pleasure once again to welcome everybody back after the great speech given by our club president, Billy. I already see certain participants who are already dressed up, such as Rajan. I'm glad you could join us and dress up as well. I know I have introduced a couple of people, but I never gave them a chance to speak. So I am going to be letting Lee Buckley give us the word of the day so that we know what we need to add into our conversation. So Lee, passing this baton on to you. Here you go.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and guests from all around the world. As the language evaluator tonight, or also known as grammarian in some clubs, I will be looking out for incorrect grammar as well as incorrect usage of the English language. On top of that, I will also take down notable or catchy phrases used throughout the meeting. Tonight, I would like to introduce the word of the evening, and I will encourage everyone to use the word. I will put the word as well as the definition in the chat box, but if you can watch my screen, I would like to show you the word as a virtual background to start with. The word for tonight is ingenious, spelled I-N-G-E-N-I-O-U-S. It's an adjective and it can be used in two different contexts. In terms of a person, it's clever, original, and inventive. An example is he was ingenious in overcoming the budget issue. If used on a machine or idea, it means cleverly or originally devised and well suited to its purpose. An example, a number of ingenious devices were showcased at the exhibition. So ladies and gentlemen, I would encourage you to use the word of the evening. And with that, I will pass the baton back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much, Lee, for giving us the lovely word of the day, ingenious. I do request everybody to use that word. It'll be really easy to work it into your vocabulary or into your speech. As a host today or this evening, I'm going to try to use ingenious as often as I can. And also being the host, I wanted to also dress up for all the guests who are attending this evening from various places, such as Dr. Mukuls, who's visiting us from long way over. I see Shirley visiting us from Australia. I saw some, was it Su Ming, who's visiting from China? I think I saw it somewhere in the chat. And we also have Abdul visiting from New York. Do I recognize anybody else out here? I'm sure everybody is visiting from various places. So I'm gonna hand the relay stick back to Adeline, who is going to excite and come up with ingenious ideas for table topics. Here you go, Adeline.
Ooh, thank you, Toastmaster of the evening and guests from all over the world. Welcome to SG Online Toastmaster Club. TGIF, it's finally Friday. How's everyone doing? If you are feeling great, please give me a palm face. Come on, everybody. I want to see that on the screen. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, that scared our TMD. All right, thank you for your spontaneity. And now, Little Red Riding Hood. Okay, you might say, okay, it's not Little Red Riding Hood, okay. I might be able to be her mother, but definitely not grandmother. Well, Little Red Riding Hood need to go to the wood. Ta-da! I'm back! All right, if you are enjoying the little trick, aren't you impressed with our team's ingenuity? Yes? Then type yes in the chat if you are so impressed so far. All right, make no mistake, I'm the table master host, table topic masters. And as we all know, table topics help us to develop the ability to organize our thoughts very quickly and help us to improve our impromptu speaking. I'm sure many of you are itching to start the table topics today and dying to see what kind of creative topics that the Little Red Riding Hood has come up with. Thank you for the chat. Right. And if you are curious if I'm really wearing the Little Red Riding Hood uniform costume, or is this just some kind of Photoshop, you type TT in the chat, all right? You type TT and I will unmute you and you attempt a topic and I shall reveal the answer to you. How does that do sound? Good? All right, I'm going to share the topics. All right, we have Dr. Mukus Raman, who is very, very spontaneous, and he's going to attempt our table topics. All right. Let me just share my screen. Can everybody see my screen? Yes? Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, Madam
Okay,
Table Topics
cool.
Master.
Cool. All right. Allow me to just spend a couple of seconds to just go through the rule, as some of us who might know. When you speak for 1 minute, you will see the green light. 1 minute and 30 seconds, you will see the yellow light, and I will encourage you to quicken your speech. And when you see red light, which means that you have used up the time, and 30 more seconds at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, there will be a buzzer, means you will have to bow down the stage. All right, and I would like to echo the grammarian today. The word of the day is ingenious. So try to use and incorporate this word into your speech. All right, I'm going to invite the first participant. I'm going to unmute you. Cool. All right, would you like to, could you say something so that I know that you're unmuted?
I can hear you, yes.
Cool, all right. Would you tell me which table topic you like to attempt? I have 1 to 20 for you.
I will be number 1.
Wonderful. All right, table topic number 1. What would you say to your younger self? All right, over to you.
Dear fellow Toastmasters, table topic master, Toastmaster of the day, the president, all the officers, and many guests. What would I say to my younger self? I would really like to say, I wished I was at the time of Nikola Tesla. I don't know if you see my background. I live in Niagara Falls, New York. And Nikola Tesla, I don't know how many of you know, he is the reason we have electricity throughout the world distributed efficiently. Before Tesla, it was DC current, direct current. He struggled a lot. He was an ingenious man. He had so many patents. He had so many futuristic ideas, including the cell phone that we enjoy today. He came from Serbia to America. He was kind of a crazy man. But I wish I could be more crazy than I am today. I would like to be more crazy like Nikola Tesla. His greatest contribution to the world is the power generation and transmission of alternate current electricity. Where did he get the idea from? Niagara Falls. He saw millions of gallons of water falling about 200 feet. And in his mind, he thought, hey, there's a lot of power. How can I change it to something that everybody can benefit? And that's what he did. He invented alternate current generators by oscillating the shafts. And the transmission of alternate current is super efficient because it flows the current up and down. So the wire doesn't get too heated. DC current has a direct current. So as the current is passing, it gets heated up. So it could only go up to 20 miles. Imagine what the world would be today if he did not invent the alternate current. So what would I say to myself? I wish I was near him, learn from him, and even work on many of the ingenious inventions he had throughout his life. I have some similarity with him, a very difficult personality, little crazy, not a lot, but I am a person with an attitude of gratitude. I'm so glad he invented and lighted the world. Madam Topic Master.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dr. Raman. So if you really could go back the time and you do say that to your younger self, I'm sure today you won't be just Dr. Raman. I'm not sure what you will be, someone even greater. All right, thank you so much. Can we have the next brave soul to attempt? Oh, there's no more TT. All right, we have Shirley Charles from Sydney. Cool. Let me unmute you. Shirley. Just give me a second, Shirley. Meanwhile, you could think of the topic. Would you like to tell me which question you want to attempt? Okay, I just unmute you. Could you unmute yourself, Shirley?
Done.
Great, great. So which topic would you want to pick?
So I'll choose 13.
1, 3. Lucky,
13,
lucky
that's
30.
right.
1, 3. Let's say what lucky number, what lucky topic you got there. Oh, if I can change my look. There you go. Let's give it to Shirley.
Thank you very much. This is a very interesting topic because when I was young, I came from Penang, Malaysia. And when I was young, I've always wanted to be a boy. So if I could change my look at that time, at that point in time, I would have loved to be a boy. Because why? Because I have 3 brothers. They were allowed to do anything and everything. And I was very restricted. As you would know, the females who are living in Malaysia and Singapore, girls are very restricted. And I've always wanted to be a boy. So, and I think that's rather ingenious if I could have done that. So what happened then was, as the years went by, I thought, no, that's not the way I want to be. I really like my own self, my face, and the things I could do as a female. And because my brothers couldn't do what I could do. I could get away with a lot of things because I was a girl. Even when I was naughty, I would say that, oh, they did it, they bullied me, and so that's why I got away with a lot of things. And that's the one thing that I would have loved to be a boy when I was very, very young. And I would say, if I had continued with that thought, I think I would have been a very different person. But I do enjoy being a girl now, or a woman. I have all through my life, my adult life, I've always enjoyed that. And so to you all, if you want to have a different look, whether to change or have plastic surgery or not, please don't. You are given the face, you are given the sort of physique you have. Just enjoy it and be happy with it. Thank you very much. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Shirley. Yes, we have to be proud of who we are because that's what's given to us by our parents. And I'm glad you didn't change any part of it because you look great and you are so brave to speak up today. And we are all definitely proud of you. Are we all proud of Shirley, or the woman in the group? Shall we all give her a round of applause? Well done. All right. Can we have the third brave soul, please? All right. Who do we have? Do we have anyone that just raised a hand? Okay, I may not be quick if someone spots something. Oh, okay. Dr. Raman said he wanted to be a girl because he had no sister. Okay, thanks for sharing. All right. Do we have anyone who want to attempt now? Come on, you have seen how creative the topics are. Aren't you interested? Aren't you curious to see how ingenious the topics are? So you have to try to unveil the topics. Can we have someone to attempt the topics? If you are not going to volunteer, I'm going to volunteer you. All right, shall we have Rajan? I liked your hat there. Hello, hi Rajan. Would you like to attempt the topic? I'm going to unmute you. All right. Yes, cool.
Yes.
Yes, we want to see your lovely outfit. That's ingenious.
Thank you.
All right, back to the table, back to the master list. Okay, just give me a second. All right. I'm curious what you're going to pick.
7.
7. There you go. Oh, that's everybody's dream. Okay, you're going to strike lottery US 10 million tonight. All right, over to you.
Dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, I have always dreamt of one thing. Guess what? I always want to fill a lottery, and with that lottery, I want to win $1 million. Wow, $1 million. I have a dream to be a millionaire. And if I get a lottery and win $10 million tonight, first thing, I'll invite you all to the party, and I'll do that party in a cruise. And don't worry about plane tickets. I'll send that to your home. Just send me your address. That would be the first thing that I would like to do. And the next thing, I would like you all to come with your family. And don't worry about any curse that is going to take place. I'll look after that as well. And third thing that I really love to do with that money is I will give some amount to the people who are running charity. And I'm pretty sure some of them are here. So I want to give some amount to you people who are running charity. Or if we can't do that, we can plan something and get it into the charity, right? But yeah, at the end, if it strikes and if I win, this is possible. But what if I don't get it? That is next side of the story. But it is always good to have a dream and like winning dream of US $10 million is always amazing. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Rajan. And thank you for your generosity. I'm so excited that you're going to give me an air ticket. So can I know which part of the world that you're from? So that we know where to find you. All right, but I'm sure you're going to sleep so well tonight and keep dreaming of the US 10 million lottery prizes. Okay, so next up, who do we have? Okay, Esther said she will donate it. So Esther, why don't we hear from you? Would you like to volunteer, Esther? Esther, let me look for you. Esther. Esther, get ready to speak. Hey, Esther, are you online? Hi, Esther, are you online? Hi, Esther, are you online already? Okay, is she connecting? Hello, Esther, are you there?
Hello, good evening. I'm Esther Gray.
Okay, cool. Would you like to tell us which topic you want to attempt?
Table topic 20.
20. I'm sure it's an interesting one because I kept the best for last. Okay, if I have a time machine. Now, if you have been watching a lot of K-drama, China drama, this should be not new to you. All right, over to you, Esther.
If I have a time machine, I will go back to my childhood and change my life. And so my teenager and my adult time will become better. Not this time I suffering pains. I live not good. I think the childhood is very important. My parents don't give me a better life. If I have a time machine, I will go back. I can change my life. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. So nice of you to think of going back to change the life of your family first. Yeah, but if I have a time machine, I'm not too sure what I would do. Yeah. Maybe I will find out where all the treasures are being hidden. All right, now it's a bit slow. Come on, can we have someone to volunteer for the table topics? I'm sure we have a lot of courageous people. Okay, I can be TTM, Ahmad. All right, can we have Abdul? Okay, Abdul, I'm going to unmute you. Abdul. Okay. Abdul Karimi, are you online now? Cool.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. All right, let me go back. Okay, this is the master list. Which one would you pick?
I'll pick 19.
19. Let's see. Oh, if I have the power to influence, over to you, Abdul.
Can we go to a next one? Can I pick another one? I'm sorry.
Sure. For you.
Thank you.
Sure. So which
I'll
topic
take
would you like to
17.
17. There you go. All right. Abdul, are you married? You have a girlfriend?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so honey, I want to confess. There you go.
Okay.
Over to you.
Okay. I don't think some of you like this, but I have to confess. To my wife, I am proud to be her husband and to be in her life, to enjoy and grow together. We have plans and dreams to do things in our future life. But sometimes in my mind, I think about something else at the same time, which as a human being, we all men understand this, but at the same time, we all don't agree with this. Sometimes I do wish I had 2 wives. If she's hearing me, I can get in trouble. But anyway, she asked me one day, she says to me, would you have another wife? And to be honest with you, I told her, yes, if you give me the permission, I will go have another wife. And this was a test, but at the same time, she understood because in our culture, in our religion, we are allowed to have more than 1 wife, which is 2 or 3, only if you can support them. And if they agree with you, then you're allowed to get married. But if they don't agree with you and you don't have the financially to take care of both of them or 3 of them, it's going to be a little bit tough. So I did confess when she asked me this question. And she didn't get mad. She understood because that's the part of the culture in Middle Eastern. For example, in Yemen, in Jordan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, you name it. Even in America, in Philadelphia, or I'm sorry, not Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, they have 3 wives. They have no electricity, but then they have 3 wives, and they all understand each other. They get together, they take care of each other. So even as a human being, we all have this in our mind. So it's good to be honest with them, even though it's not going to become reality. But it's always good to confess how you feel in a way that they'll understand. So hopefully you guys understand me. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Thank you for sharing that so openly in this platform. Really appreciate that. I could hear, these are heartfelt words from you, even though I can't see your face now. Yes, somebody is giving you applause. Yes, thank you for sharing this. All right, I'm going to call, someone just volunteered. I just want to get the name right. Can we have Mahifa? Right, I'm going to unmute you. Get ready. Okay, Mahifa, can you unmute yourself?
Okay.
Mahifa, yes. All right,
Yes,
is that
I'm
you
here.
online? Yes. Could you tell me which topic you'd like to attend?
11.
11, see what we've got there. Oh, if I can teleport myself. All right, over to you.
Okay. It's an English question. If I can teleport myself, I think I would go to the USA. It's a good place that I want to go because there we can see many things that are very strange and very good to see. Because here in Madagascar, we are in a poor country. There are no many things about something that not very good, I think. But because they're on TV, you can see on movies and documentaries, we can see many things that are wonderful and with their ingenious inventions and everything. I think it can be good for me to go there and just let's say 1 month or something like that. And I think it's a good country. Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Ahmad. I hope one day your dream will come true. You don't have to teleport yourself. I think if we all work hard and then we have a massive action plan to it, one day the dream will come true. All right, have faith. Okay, next up, I have someone who volunteered. Let me just get the name correct. Okay, I think we probably can do 1 or 2 more. Maybe later the TMB could ping me. I'm going to unmute Ahmad. All right, Ahmad, hold on. Let me just find you, Ahmad. There you go. Ahmad,
Okay.
could you unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Cool. Yes. All right, which table topic are you going to surprise us?
Second.
2. See what we've got there. All right, yes, this is one of my favorite questions. If I could have one superpower, it would be. All right, over to you, Ahmad.
Okay. Thank you, Double Topic Master. If I have one superpower, it would be the first is, currently we are facing the coronavirus. So if we have superpower, I will stop the spreading of coronavirus around the world because I have the super mechanism to stop the virus from country to country, from people to people. And so I can find the vaccine fastly. The second, I would be share my knowledge, my skill to all of the people around the world. We want to empower together with the power. So because we always have new challenge in our life, from global warming, poverty, racial discrimination around the world, and also we have less money to address the problem. The third, I would be, what call it in English, make much money to buy the big project, how to stop all disease around the world, because the disease kill million people around the world. And the disease give us the bad impact for our life. I think a superpower is possible if we are together to respond big problem in around the world. Thank you. Back to Double Topic Master.
I really want to give you this superpower, so that you can help us to eradicate all the viruses. Then we'll all be in a safe world. And I can go and get I can go attend the celebration who got the 10 million lottery. And yeah, I can do many things, and we can be physically. All right, and you get to see me in my Little Red Riding Hood outfit. Okay, I think someone nominated Peter. Peter, would you like to attempt the table topics? I'm going to unmute Peter. Hi, Peter, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm waiting for to be unmuted.
Cool. All right. So
guess-
you know the game. Let me know what table topic you want to attempt.
Let's just go for number 8.
8?
Yes, no, it's good.
If I'm Snow White's stepmother. All right, over to you, Peter.
If I'm Snow White's stepmother, I will not be asking about how beautiful I am to a mirror. You know, instead, I will look at Snow White and ask her, so beautiful. You know, how can I be as beautiful as her? You probably know the secret of being a pretty little girl with all the beauty care product that she has been using. Or if not, it could be she have found the best apple in the forest to eat. Then I don't have to play the role of being the evil witch to create a poisonous apple to put Snow White to sleep forever and ever. If I am Snow White's stepmother, I could learn everything there is about beauty tip from Snow White. I will bring Snow White. In fact, I will put Snow White in the forefront as part of my castle's upbringing of beauty to know, you know, as a result of Snow White bring all the Prince Charming to my castle. If I'm Snow White's stepmother in the modern era, I will push Snow White up into the social media so she can be a key influencer. Then I no longer need to ask the mirror on the wall, will I be the fairest of them all? Because Snow White will be the good example of how fair I am. Because I brought up Snow White. Now, I'm not seeing the timing. I guess it's not green yet, isn't it? Hello, hello. Is my time up yet?
Peter?
Is my time
Can
up
the
yet?
timer show Peter his timing? Well, Peter, you can just go on. It's okay. We are all listening.
Wow, I didn't know my Snow White story was that interesting.
Do you
Anyway,
have any more to
I
share?
was Snow White. That's it. You know, I will never have to be an evil stepmother if I were Snow White's stepmother. That's it. Thank you, folks. That's Snow White's new story. That's it.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Peter. Peter, are you a businessman? I bet you are, because you have to rethinking to create that skincare line, right? I will be your first customer because I want to be as beautiful as Snow White. And in case you're wondering, I hope you could see me. Ta-da! Little Red Riding Hood has transformed. I hope you can see the flower, and let's party.
Okay, I can't see anything.
Because,
yeah.
All right, so the night is getting younger. It's time to party, all right? So yes, so please outdo me in creativity. I look forward to seeing that because I definitely do not want to win the best dress today. Could we have someone to, oh, what happened to my share screen? It just disappeared, okay. Could we have one last attempt? Come on, let's wrap up the night in high. Could we have one last attempt? Oh, I think Angela wants to attempt. Okay, let me.
Dress up. Hang on, let me go.
Yes, dress up. Go, Peter, go. I'm looking forward. Go ransack your wife's closet, all right? Okay, Angela, coming to you soon. Okay, I've just unmuted you, Angela.
Thank you.
All right, Angela, what topic would you, sorry, let me go back to the master list.
Number 6.
Yep, number 6. Oh, I think this suits you to a T. I'm looking so forward. Angela, if I could be president for just one day, over to you, Angela.
Thank you very much. I would get a lot done if I were president for just one day. President of where? I think I'll be president everywhere. I'll start with Singapore. I'm going to redesign all the housing. I want every single home to have a balcony or a garden. When we're stuck inside like we are now, we all need our vitamin D. So we just have to get all these workers out, working again, building balconies and creating gardens. Every garden has to have fruit in it so that we are prepared for the next calamity, whatever it is, and we have all got food to eat. So we're not reliant on farmers or fish or anything else from anywhere else. It's perfectly possible you can grow mushrooms in the dark. So now that we've sorted out Singapore, we'll go around the rest of the world. I'm going to protect all the statues, all the buildings and all the names because it's quite ridiculous. Otherwise, we're not going to have any place with any name left. We'd have to get rid of all the Roman statues, all the Greek statues. We'd have to get rid of Henry VIII because he was a woman hater and executed his wives. We can't possibly get rid of all the people we don't like. We've got to draw a line somewhere, and I think we'll draw a line when people were born. So we won't destroy anything earlier than World War II. That will leave all our historic statues in place. We can easily put little names up everywhere. So that will sort out all the troubles in America and all the troubles in England. And we'll be like Singapore. We'll have a benevolent rule, and nobody will think of going out and being disobedient because they will be fully employed. And that's what I will do. I seem to have a green light, a yellow light, and a red light. How very strange. But I shall finish because I've seen the red light. I hope I've sorted the world out in my one day. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you, Angela. I don't know about the rest. I will definitely vote you into our Singapore cabinet. But my questions, not from the president, my question is, how much reserve are you going to use? All right, shall we all give our table topic speakers a big, big, big round of applause? They are so brave, so courageous. Wonderful. Thank you for making my job so easy tonight. And I certainly hope that you have enjoyed the ingenious topic that I put up today. Cool. Okay, let me stop the slide so that we can be all back to normal screen. All right, can we have the timers report, please? Doreen, would you like to share the timers report over in the chat? Doreen is working very hard because we have many, many speakers tonight. Wow, Doreen is busy typing. She's putting up the numbers soon. Do you enjoy the topics tonight? It's my first attempt to come up with such creative topics. I hope you like it. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the applause. All right, Doreen need me to unmute her. Okay, I need to unmute Doreen. Sorry, Doreen, forget to unmute you. Okay, can you speak now?
Adeline, can I just confirm total number of speaker is how many? 8.
That's a good question. Did someone did that tally? I think Willie said 9. Is that 9? Yes, Willie said 9.
9. Can I confirm Mahafa and Raman, are they the same person? Because the name was... Wait, let me put it out.
Okay, why don't you put it out in the group chat?
Doreen, go ahead, post it. We'll work through who's missing and we'll figure out the
Yes.
timing. No
Yeah,
stress.
Right, yep.
Sorry, I was typing the name
Okay.
and mixed up
Yes,
with
it's
the
different
number
person.
7. Are they different person?
Yes. Okay, table topic speakers, can you identify yourself? If your name is not there and you spoke tonight, could you type in the group chat, please? Otherwise,
I
in
need to
3
confirm
seconds.
6 and 7.
6 and 7, are the names correct? I think they are. All right. So are we good for polling?
Adeline, can you hide the poll? Oh, that's okay. Never mind. I don't want to mess it up.
I just minimized it. I don't know if I have hidden it successfully. All right. So we have come to the end of the table topics. I have a lot of fun, and in between, just like Chinese wedding banquet, I managed to change my costume. I bet not the evening gown. But if there's enough poll, I will go dig out my evening gown for my third change tonight. Right? Okay, Peter, if you're up to it, I am, okay? Okay. All right, so back to you, Toastmaster of the evening. I'm going to pass the baton back to you. There you go.
Thank you so much, Adeline. What a phenomenal table topic. You know, there were so many great topics to choose from. I loved all your outfits. I loved how people participated. Some people gave us a lot of insight. When I was listening to your table topics, all I could think was of share. And I think some of you guys may. So when I thought of your table topic, that's the first thing which came to my mind was share song. And I'm like, oh, I can just run with that one. I hope you guys have all had a fun time coming up with creative topics to talk about. I've heard a lot. I have definitely had lots of fun. It is time to take a 10-minute break. It's 1 minute past the hour wherever you guys are. Unless you're on your half hour, then it's 1 minute past the half hour. So I'm not going to say the exact time, but please take a look at your watches. You should give yourself all 10 minutes, and I am going to go for a walk, come back in a couple of minutes, and I see Dr. Raman has also joined me with a cap and a hat. So see you guys back in 10 minutes. Okay, hopefully all of you had a wonderful 10-minute break. Maybe some of you stepped out, got some fresh air. Maybe some of you took in some night air, depending on whatever time zone you are. Now we get to the portion where we listen to people who have actually prepared their speeches. The first part was table topics, which was all impromptu speaking. Now comes the part where people have been working on their speeches. We have a few speakers this evening. The very first speaker who we have is Fiona. And Fiona is going to be giving her first speech. It is on presentation mastery level and mastering the fundamentals. I'm going to ask her evaluator to please give her speech objectives and timings. So to the first evaluator, who is Thomas, who's dressed in red. I think he had something on earlier on, but I could be wrong. Thomas, up to you. Off to you. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Can I?
Yes,
Can I share?
please go ahead.
All right.
Please.
Awesome. Thank you. So, Fiona, the purpose statement of your project. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. All the best and have fun.
So Fiona, your speaking time is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, Doreen will be displaying a green card. At 6 minutes, you'll be displaying a yellow card. And at 7 minutes, you have a red card. You have another 30 seconds to wrap up your speech. Once that is done, this thing is going to flash, time is up. We will or maybe not be using any other auditory cues today. Fiona's speech is growing market of English training in China, Fiona Chen. Fiona Chen, growing market of English training in China. Over to you.
Okay, so can I have a quick check on my mic? Can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me clearly? I want to have a quick check. Okay, today I'm supposed to give a speech on research, but actually I'm going to present a research based on my observation from WeChat official accounts and Weibo, those popular social medias. Hope I can give a good one. Okay, have you heard an old popular joke about Chinese English? It's going to be like this. A student was hit in a car accident abroad, and a policeman came up to him and asked him, "How are you?" And the student immediately answered, actually he was hurt badly, but his immediate answer was, "I'm fine, thank you, and you?" This was a popular joke among Chinese students who was educated in China in public school, especially. Most people can relate to these stories because it's exactly what the textbook taught us. When somebody asks you, "How are you?" you have to say, "I'm fine, thank you, and you," especially that part, "and you" part. But nowadays, most Chinese students wouldn't go that way, even for a young child, because their parents already give them a better education, even they are still in kindergarten. So today, my focus will be how Chinese parents, or why they are teach their child about English, or actually they teach their child about English by themselves mostly. I will detail on that part. So firstly, if they want to teach their children about English, they can join different kind of WeChat groups or Weibo groups. Generally, I believe for a single parent, they will have more than 5 WeChat groups in terms of education, especially for English one. So when they join the group, they can get those group helpers. Those people, they are so generous. They are willing to help these green parents to teach them about how to educate their children, especially like baby steps, hand by hand. They will teach them what books you should buy and what kind of audio you should listen to, or as well as what kind of deal you can get at a special season. Those ingenious parents, they can teach as well, they can groom their apprentice. Most parents, they would like this kind of method. Actually, you cannot avoid being exploited. There's a huge market on it. But you have to be critical. Generally, you will be critical in that area. You don't believe what they told you. You have to grow a sharp eye on different areas. Secondly, after you have been taught about what to do in different kinds of groups, or you maybe hear many stories about famous children or those highly achieved children's stories, how well they can speak English and how wonderful they can talk an English story, or they can present themselves in English. They will know before they go join this war field, they have to be well equipped. Okay, and by this moment, I would like to showcase some equipment I have. I'm no escape from this kind of mess. I'm part of them. Okay, first one, like I use this as my, what, better thing for today? This is called a Caterpillar reading pen. Actually, you install those stories, audio books, or different kind of audio programs in this pen. Then when you click the book, it will read to the children. How wonderful is that? Especially for the working parents, they don't have to worry about reading books. Those equipment will do that for you. Secondly, I would like to introduce this one. This actually, let's go for two. These are the Bluetooth speaker. You connect with your phone or iPad or different kind of equipment. Then it will play audios. The experts said, or the well-experienced parents said, you have to drown your children in English audios, then they can grow a wonderful listening skills as well as a good accent. As I earlier talked before, Chinese parents or Chinese people are so obsessed with authentic accents. They want their children to have a good one. Okay, the last one I want to introduce the equipment is like called a listener. It's actually an audio player. You just, as well, you install those programs into this audio. It can just speak it out. It's easy to click, easy for children to click. After that, finally, I want to go to most of all, the parents want to buy books. For example, as you look around or look back, on my back, there's like a book ocean, exaggerated expressions. Actually, that was my anxiety for now, for the past, for now, and for the futures. But it turns out to be a good decoration and a disguise. People will know, wow, you're a great reader. You got so many books. That's just anxiety, people. Because I don't know how to deal with that as a parent. This is my first time. No one told me. And with the newly or current development in China education, especially for English education, I'm kind of lost. People may be lost in Seattle or lost in Tokyo, but you can be lost online. With all the information flowing around and all the people's attention focus on these areas, you will get lost. And the only thing you can do, you will start to read. Then you will develop your own mind and decide which is the better way for yourself to cultivate or to educate your children. Thank you very much. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Fiona, for a wonderful speech about learning about English. I'm sure some of us on this platform can understand about learning English for the first time. I'm sure, just like learning a new language, it is not easy, but sure, by seeing all the tools you have, maybe learning a new language has become slightly easier. I don't know. I have not gone out and tried to learn a new language for some time. Moving on to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Angela Lansbury, and she is also going to be giving her first speech. Her speech is in the area of dynamic leadership, level 1, marketing fundamentals, evaluation and feedback. I'm going to have her evaluator please read out the project objectives and the timing, and then we can, then I will go ahead and introduce the speaker. So if I can have evaluator.
Objective will be the same as the previous speaker objective because it's the same project. Time limit is also the same, 5 to 7. Please carry on. Thank you very much.
Okay, so the project objectives are the same. The timing sequence is the same as well, 5, 6, and 7. I know Angela is very well versed with the timings of green, yellow, and red. Angela, if I can also request you to please remember to pin the timer. The timer has actually changed. The timer is Shanshan. You will see a blue screen saying timer on her video feed. So if you have noticed it, that is great. I'll just give you another couple of seconds just to find her. So Angela is going to be speaking on her speech topic is evaluation and feedback by Angela Lansbury. Angela Lansbury, evaluation and feedback. She is, okay, I'm going to try to unmute you. Just give me 1 minute. Or is, okay, done. You should be good to go. Can you go mic check?
A light check, a sound check. Sound. Sound is important. English is important, but so are all the other languages. And I'm going to tell you why I think we should learn languages, but not just English, 12 languages, because one language is not enough. I discovered that when I had an accident in 1984. I was at a turning point in my career. Things were going really well. I was writing travel articles and I had my big breakthrough. I was no longer just a freelance. Brides magazine was sending me out to Corsica to evaluate a holiday for honeymoon couples for Brides magazine. Perfect. I spent my week there, and on the last night, I had nothing to do next morning except get on the bus, get on the coach to the airport to come home. At this point, things started going wrong. The coach broke down. I had my camera with all my pictures for my article on it, and the guide said, "Get out of the coach has broken down, we're going to miss our plane, we've got to get you another coach fast, don't delay, get off the coach, go into that hotel, we'll deal with all the luggage." I had 2 cameras, I left one of them behind on the seat, the other was round my neck and I took it with me, and I crossed the road and I was thinking, my camera, I should not have left it behind. Rule number 1, when you're crossing a road, there's only one thing you should think about, and that is crossing the road. I was hit by a car. Next thing I knew, I woke up and there was a lady in white looking at me. And I said, "Where am I? What happened?" And she looked at me and I said, "You speak English?" I said, "Français, français, vous parlez français?" I'm almost bilingual in French, but it was not enough. Her language was a kind of Italian French, which they speak in Corsica. For the week that I was in the hospital in Corsica, I could not speak to anybody because I had to find somebody who spoke enough French with an Italian accent to speak to me. Then the next thing that went wrong was I decided I couldn't speak to anyone. I wanted a radio. Now, many languages have similar words. So I said, "Je voudrais un radio." Radio? Vous comprenez? Radio? Yes, they understood radio. They took me for a radio. And then I didn't get a radio. What I got was a big packet with an X-ray of everything I'd broken. Because in French or Italian, radiography is an X-ray, and they thought I wanted an X-ray. The thing I learned from being in hospital was one language is not enough, English is not enough, French is not enough. In order to really get by in an emergency situation, you have got to have 3 or 4, 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 languages. Sounds absurd? Well, if you had told me 20 years ago that translating everything into 4 languages would be the norm in Singapore, I'd have thought you were mad. If you told me that translating everything into 12 languages, including Turkish and Urdu in London, would be the norm, I would have thought you were mad. If you told me having multi-language signs on all the trains, I would have thought you were mad. But that is what we've got. Now, during the Olympics, people were wearing badges which had the signs of all the languages they spoke. And if you spoke 3 or 4 languages, you got a job. Now, everyone in Singapore speaks 2 languages. Usually you find that out when you try and speak your language, you find they speak a different one. Of course, most people speak English or Singlish, which are not quite the same. I'd count them as 2 different languages. When I go onto the MRT, I hear 4 languages. It should not be difficult to teach every child in Singapore the basics of 4 languages. We heard somebody talking earlier about learning languages. It is so easy. If we said that every year a pupil has to learn a new language, or that for 12 weeks of the year, every week, you learn a new language, it could be done. We could be the country in the world where everybody speaks 12 languages. It's already been done over in Canada, where you have to speak French and English to get a job in the public services. When I came to Singapore, I was so impressed by all the people I met who could speak 3 or 4 languages. May I ask how many of you speak 2 or more languages? How many of you speak 3 languages? On Facebook, I'm on the Polyglot site, and the people on that site are learning more than 1 language. Duolingo is a wonderful scheme. I've signed up for about 12 languages. I have been looking at Chinese, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, German, and Esperanto. I'm not going very fast at Chinese. If anyone wants to help me, I'd be delighted, but I'm working on it every day. People say, what do I do when my children are bored at home? How could you be bored if you're learning a language? You can be setting each other little spelling tests. You can be learning a song in another language. I loved learning songs. When I went to Japan, they taught us 3 songs in Japanese. Everybody can sing happy birthday to you in English. Quite possible, I hope, to come back to you speaking in 12 languages this time next year. And I hope you will all be able to address me in 12 languages too. Toastmasters, adios, au revoir, xie.
Great speech, Angela. Loved it. Loved the thought of learning different languages. Listening to your speech brought back something which I was listening to just last week. I'm going to just take 30 seconds and quickly share the story. It was an American who actually had spent his first 2-3 years in China, and then the family had moved back to the US. That kid also got into an accident when he was a lot older. His whole brain and his left and right hemisphere, I've forgotten which one controls the speech, had got so jumbled up that when he came out of his coma, he actually began speaking in Chinese, and there was not a single person who could actually converse with him. He totally lost the ability to speak in English. And as he progressed, he began using half English, half Chinese words, and then he began making up his own words. And it was a very interesting story to hear about. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I see a couple of people shaking their heads, obviously knowing exactly what I'm referring to. So great speech, loved it. I do speak a couple of languages. I'm not as proficient as you are, but maybe someday I'll get there. moving on to our next speaker, we have Patricia Lum. She is a member of SG Online as well. And I do have to apologize to all our speakers before Patricia because I never introduced any of your titles. So I know Angela is Advanced Communicator Gold, and she's also Advanced Leader Bronze. I believe Fiona is Toastmaster. And coming on to Patricia, our speaker number 3, she is Distinguished Toastmaster, Patricia Lum. She is going to be speaking on presentation mastery as well. And hers is also level 1, mastering the fundamentals of researching and presenting. I will do her introduction in a minute after I pass on the floor to her evaluator to just kind of go through her project objectives, timings. So over to you, Linda, who is going to be Patricia's evaluator.
No, I'm the speaker and my evaluator
Oh, I'm
is
sorry,
Gerald
I'm
Young.
sorry. If I can have the evaluator, who is Dr. Mukul Raman. So sorry, you're right in front of me. I see you with the hat and I totally blanked out right there. Please take it away.
Thank you so much. It is indeed an honor and privilege to introduce Patricia Lum, DTM, the highest honor in the world of Toastmastering. It takes a lot of effort, hard work, dedication, and perseverance to get the DTM. She's going through the new pathway, which is very new to me also. I'm still the old school of Toastmasters. I believe she has served as district governor as well before or so recently. Her topic is very interesting because this is the time of coronavirus where we learn a lot. And how do we learn? By doing research. And how does that person distribute that knowledge and information? Through a presentation. So her objectives are research a topic, and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on the topic of her research. It's 5 to 7 minutes, and it takes, again, a lot of work to make a presentation out of many hours of good research, analyzing the information, synthesizing, and putting into a 5 to 7 minutes is a great effort. So let's welcome Patricia Lum.
So let me quickly introduce Patricia before she takes the virtual lectern and starts teaching us about how do you actually present. Patricia has been a Toastmaster for 20 years, but her last project was 17 years back. But I did happen to eavesdrop and I heard that she started her Pathways project 3 years ago. So I got a little bit of privy information I managed to listen to part of her conversation. I was eavesdropping. So 17 years back, where she completed her Advanced Communicator Gold. Today with the theme being creativity, she's letting her creative flow once again. And I'm so happy to welcome you back onto the platform, Patricia. I can tell you one thing, that you will never go wrong coming back into the speaking field, you know. I know you've been away from it. It's just like being at the races. If you're an athlete, you'll just go with it. So Patricia Lum is going to be speaking about presentation mastery. Presentation mastery, Patricia Lum.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. You hear me good?
I can.
Good evening, Club President, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and especially to my project evaluator, Mukis, my dear friends who are here to support me, Shirley, Lily, and Linda. Well, we will all agree that laughter spices up our life. Laughter is definitely the best medicine. And so, I wanted so much to make you laugh today. But doing a humorous speech is a struggle for me. Now, unlike an informative speech, our duties is just to give information. Say, for instance, if you want to give information on a tomato, you will just say that it is round, it is orangey red, and well, it doesn't really taste a lot. Now, if your audience, the mind stray just a little, and they miss out the last part that it doesn't taste much, they still go home with that the tomato is round and is reddish orange. Or for an inspirational speech, well, all you have to do is come up with an inspirational quote at the beginning. Like for instance, 1,000 miles start with the first step. And then for the body of the speech, you add in your stories, how you overcome adversity, how you, when people throw lemons at you, you turn them into lemonade. Or when you fall down, pick yourself up, shake off the dust and move forward. And to end, have an impact. Well, you do something like, you can do it. We all are behind you. Just do it. And there you have it, inspirational speech. But a humorous speech is something very, very different. Now, for instance, if your audience, I can't see my screen, but I believe you can see me. If your audience mind just shift a little bit and they miss your punchline, and the humor will bomb. And when it bomb, you will feel, trust me, terribly, terribly sad. And I wish I could immediately turn into a turkey. Why? So that I can stick my head into the sand. Right, and so without any funny bone in me, I decided I want to do a research paper on humor. And when I need to do such a project, I ask friends. I heard somebody mention Willie. No, I did not ask Willie. I asked my good friend Google. Google is very nice. You can ask all kinds of information 24/7, and he will give everything to you. And you don't even have to buy him lunch, like I have to with Willie. Well, the thing is, Google is pretty dumb, because everybody dumped everything onto him, and when you ask, he dumped everything back to you, and then you have to sift through thousands and thousands of documents. Whereas for Willie, when you ask for some information, he gives you specific facts. That's all he has anyway. And so, for my research, I would like to share my screen. Here you are. Can you see the screen? Give me a hands up if you can. Great. Research, type of humor. And this is not moving. I tested it out, but it was okay. All right. So to do this research, I follow 4 simple steps. The topic has to be interesting, it has to be relevant, and so types of humor fit in the bill just right. And because humor is such a big subject, I narrow it down to just talking about the types of humor. And for materials, well, I check with Google, I check with friends, I do surveys, and I do self-analysis. And of course, thirdly, it's very important. Anybody can write research paper, but do they work? Do their methods work? So it is very important that you do the test on yourself to see whether they work. And of course, the fourth step, final, is to do feedback. And I'm getting feedback from all of you. And they are free, right? And so here is my presentation. Types of humor. According to Mark Nicole, there are at least 20 types of humor. First, slapstick or physical. Now, for instance, it's like picking up a dead lizard and putting into somebody's cup of coffee. Or self-deprecating, degrade yourself so that everybody around you can be happy. Cultural reference, make fun of different culture. And then he has dark blue. I don't mean dark blue, I mean dark and blue. No, dark is something making fun of tragedy, and blue, indecent humor, which I'm not going to discuss this anyway. Now, I told you I did some self-analysis and I came up with at least 20 more. Toast is making humor. It is very nice when you're praising somebody to put in humor. And of course, roast is when you poke fun at that somebody. And then you have this ingenious idea of, I created it called the toss. Tossing is the combination of both toast and roast, and you do not know if I'm toasting or roasting you. And then of course, I've got color jokes as well. Yellow, bright and sunny, is for the children. Orange, full of vitamins, and fat are for the old people. And of course, the first step, what did I say it would be? Test them out. And I go back to, do I test out slapstick or physical? Nope, not really, because I don't enjoy picking up dead lizard. Do I try self-deprecating? I think I'm too proud to do that. Do I do cultural reference? Let me think about this, because I would like to then close, stop the share. Am I back on the screen? It's good. Yes, talking about cultural references is really, really very risky, because you can get yourself into a lot of trouble. But for the sake of getting more points for this presentation, I am going to take the risk. Now, do you know how the Korean take selfies? Click. It got to be sweet. Now, do you know, wow, this country I really would not dare to mention, because I really do not want to put myself into trouble, but I think you know. How do they take their selfies? Can you see? Good. Sorry? Yeah. Click. They are strong people. Now, do you know how we Singapore people take selfies? Sorry, you are doing this for? Sorry, you're doing this for? There's technical issue.
Your time is up. Did you see the timer? I was just trying to signal to you to start wrapping up.
Oh my God, really? I did not see it. All right, so what I'm trying to say is that is safe. Singaporean, that is what we call also kiasu, because in kiasu, we try to be safe, we try not to take risks, we try not to lose face. And because I'm kiasu, I cover all grounds for this topic and hope to get A from my project evaluator. And if I have not made you laugh, you work 3 hours later. And if after 3 hours you still do not laugh, I could only quote William Hunk on the America's Got Talent when he was on that stage. And when he sang, she bang, it bombed. And what did he say? Sorry, I've done my best. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patricia. I wish I had heard your speech before I actually started on my humorously speaking manual. It would have made a world of a difference. It was interesting how it had got broken out into different segments, but I'm glad I finished that manual. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know how many people got my humor, but I enjoyed it. So we are now moving on to our final speaker for the evening. I just wanted to make sure, Linda, that I didn't trip up again. You know, before I introduce you as an evaluator, I want to just make sure you are our final speaker. We have the final speaker, Linda Ong. She is going to be speaking about conversation with ease. It is from interpersonal communication.
Sorry, interruption. It is from interpersonal communication manual, and the topic is the topic is AP3, Advanced Project 3, diffusing criticism.
Okay, diffusing verbal criticism. Sorry, that's what her topic, her speech title is diffusing verbal criticism. And I am going to have her evaluator, who is, I had seen, I think it was Gerald, or it was evaluate. It is Gerald Young. I am going to unmute you, Gerald, and you should see something popping up on your screen to unmute. There you go. If you can please go ahead and introduce Linda's speech, her objectives, and her timing. Away to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Vikana. Linda, your objectives for your AP3 are respond non-defensively to verbal criticism, employ a 5 steps method to identify the problem, diffuse the attack, and arrive at the solution. You have 10 to 14 minutes. All the best.
Thank you for the speech objectives, Gerald, and the timing sequence. Linda, at 10 minutes, you will see the green, which Shanchan will be turning on shortly. Would you like to see the yellow at 13, or would you like to see the
12?
12? Okay. See the yellow at 12, and then the red at 15.
14.
14. I obviously can't read 4 and 5. There's a big difference. Sometimes when we're typing, our finger tends to hit the other one, but our eyes can't make that mistake, you know.
It's good to be generous.
Yes. So let me go ahead and introduce you. Linda is a charter president, past area S3 director. Her motto in life is, life could be fragile. Treasure what we have now. Diffusing verbal criticism, Linda Ong. Linda Ong, diffusing verbal criticism.
Thank you. Good evening, President, District Officer, Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen. Sometime in our lives, we receive negative comments or criticism from our family, close friends, or colleagues. Do you agree? If not, you are perfect. How to handle it? Handling criticism is related to how we perceive ourselves and how we want others to perceive us. Handling criticism is related to 2 factors. 1, self-image. 2, public image. For self-image, it is related to how we perceive ourselves. It has to do with beliefs and values about life or living in general. What is good, what is bad, what is wrong. And All these could have been formed while we were young, during childhood. This is important. And in life, if we receive positive treatment, we develop a healthy self-esteem, self-value, self-worth, and a positive self-image. As for public image, it has to do with individuals who want others or the public to perceive them the way they want to, in a favorable manner. That means they will present a favorable public image to the public. For example, they are entertainers or politicians. For entertainers like actors and actresses, they would want the public to view them positively. For example, that they are talented and versatile and can handle any roles, anytime, or all kinds of roles. Whereas for politicians, they would like to be perceived as being a clean and caring government. Do you agree? Every government wants to be viewed as a clean and caring government. Well, for handling verbal criticism, some would withdraw and walk away. Some would rationalize. For some, they would counterattack. As for some, they would respond in a non-defensive manner. There are 5 steps on how to handle criticism, and I shall share with you my screen in a PowerPoint form. Just 1 second. Can you see my screen? Yes? Can you thumbs up if you can see my screen? Can you see my screen? Yes. Okay. The first point is the 5 steps to identify the problem. The first point is listen. Second point, acknowledge. Third point, ask questions. Fourth point, paraphrase. Fifth point, agree with the truth. Now I'm back. All of you can see me? Okay, just to check whether you are listening to what I say. Earlier on, I've said we could respond by withdrawing and walk away, or rationalizing, or counterattack. And what's the fourth point? What's the fourth point, anybody? Who has listened to my fourth point? That is respond non-defensively. Now I shall invite my partner to role play with me as a colleague in an office environment. She is my fellow Toastmasters from Braddell 2 Toastmasters Club. Her name is Lim Lily. Now our role play shall begin. Hi Lily, how are you so far at work?
Yes, hi Linda, I'm fine.
You're fine.
Yes, it's nice to be able to get a chance to speak to you. Though both of us have always been busy.
Okay, we have been colleagues for 3 years. Am I correct?
Yes, and
yes.
My favorite colleague who's always full of creative and ingenious ideas and very helpful and supportive to every one of us in the company.
Thank you. I also wanted to tell you I like you because I find that you are helpful and kind. That's why I invite you for lunch so we could chit chat.
Thank you. Yes.
Now that we have just finished our lunch, we could have a chit chat over coffee.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
And I want to tell you that, as you know, in our office, we are both stressed out. And you're busy, I'm busy, both stressed out. We are like robots. There's no time to chit chat. Yes. So now is the time for me to casually, informally ask you. I want to ask you about the 360 degrees appraisal.
Oh, okay.
Okay. As a colleague, How do you find me as a colleague?
Okay, Linda, I'll take this opportunity to be very frank with you. Though I find that it's difficult to bring up certain things about yourself, you know, especially at month end when we have closing, we're very busy. And if you have many calls and required to help out by answering the calls, taking messages, sometimes it can be very irritating and frustrating. So I like to highlight to you this point that whenever you're away, like for 15 to 30 minutes, somehow your phone keeps ringing and ringing and ringing. So we have to, you know, being your neighbor, at the next station, I have to pick up the calls and take the messages, and then after that, pass it to you. Okay, once a blue moon or once a while is okay, but sometimes during the day, you are away from your workstation for 3-4 times, and you know the duration is like 15 minutes or longer. So I like to suggest that maybe you could do something like transfer your calls to your mobile or put everything to your voicemail, so that even if there's 1 or 2 calls, you know, it will not affect the rest of us. We don't mind just taking the calls once a while, but if it's like 3-4 times a day and the duration is like 15 minutes, it's a bit long.
Okay,
Also,
I agree that I have disappeared for a duration of quite a number of times. You are very busy and yet you're very observant. Thank you.
Well, once a while, boss comes around and asks, "Where's Linda?" So I have to like think of what excuse to give it to him. So this is my feedback.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, as you know, I am a smoker. I smoke. I admit that I smoke. Then, you know, as we are busy at work, when you're stressed out, you drink coffee. For me, I need to smoke to get a breather. As you know, our office is far away from the open space. We cannot smoke in the office. I had to walk all the way out of the building to smoke. And when I was there, I would bump into fellow smokers. And we would chit chat and I forgot the time. So I acknowledge that I have been disappearing from my workstation. That means may I ask you, maybe you could ignore the ringing of the phone, or when the boss asks about me, you just give an excuse. Could you help me out in this way again?
I will definitely do that. But at the same time, if you could minimize or shorten your breaks or inform your clients that, okay, during this time, don't call, call during early morning or late afternoon or in the evening. That would be very helpful.
Thank you, thank you. That means you find it irritating that whenever I disappear, you have to answer my phone calls. During month end, it's very irritating because you're busy and it's irritating answering my phone calls, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
when you're not so busy, it's not too bad. But when you have deadlines and you're rushing and doing reconciliation, it can be quite a hassle and frustrating.
So you have proposed, we have come to a compromise, is it? You propose that I tone down my disappearance to a shorter period, lesser time, and then also transfer my calls to my mobile phone.
Yeah, that would be very helpful.
Sure, this is reasonable. We have been colleagues for 3 years and I have just started smoking 3 months ago. You have been very patiently tolerating my disappearance. I appreciate your feedback at this point in time to take the opportunity to tell me. I agree that I will tone down my disappearing act. I will transfer the calls to my mobile phone so that you are not doubling busy. So as colleagues, we can be happy.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, yes. We'll remain as good and friendly colleagues.
Yes.
Yeah,
So at least
one another.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our role play. Now, I want to ask Lily for her feedback. Lily, as we are communicating, do you find that I was open-minded?
Yes, you are.
Did you feel comfortable?
Yes, I think you are very receptive and positive and not defensive at all.
Oh, thank you. That means we could continue being a colleague in a happy environment.
Yes.
So thank you, thank you. I'm glad that you put across your feedback or criticism in a nice, friendly way. And I'm glad that we have come to a good compromise. Ladies and gentlemen, as I've said, to handle criticism has two factors, self-image and public image. And remember that we could either walk away and withdraw and walk away, rationalize, counter attack, or respond non-defensively. I have adopted the stance of non-defensive behavior, and this lead to a nice closure. And just another thing is to adopt the 5 steps I mentioned earlier: listen, acknowledge, ask question, paraphrase, and agree with the truth. The truth hurts, but at least I come to a good compromise and we can be a good colleague. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what I have for you this evening. Back to the Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Linda. Talking about breaks, our break will be coming up very shortly, but I do need you to be patient just for a couple minutes longer before we actually take our break. I would request all of you to please go put on your creative hats, colors. Do remember, yellow is the creative color. So if you have anything yellow, please put those on. We will be voting for the most creatively dressed person pretty soon. The winner will be announced at the end. I know we've seen some of you dress up and play the part, but please open up your cameras so that we can look at you, we can see you, and the evaluators can also evaluate you on your creative side. So what we will be doing is we will be taking a break, and also to the evaluators, if I can please request you to ingeniously use the word of the day in your evaluation. That will be mostly appreciated by Lee Buckley, because we have not had too many usage of the word of the day, and I'm sure, and in fact, I have full confidence in all our evaluators being able to add that to their repertoire. So let's go ahead and take a break. We are at 6 minutes. We are at 6 minutes past the hour. So we will take a 10-minute break. The microphones will be unmuted again. So if you want to hang around, talk, please do so. We will meet back at 16 past the hour, or if you're on a half time zone, it'll be 16 past the half time zone. So please go ahead, take a break, and we will see everybody back soon enough.
I think today's theme is ingenious.
I love what you're wearing, Dr. Rahman. You got the yellow, got the cap, got the elephant. Love it.
That's my marathon t-shirt.
Yeah, nice. Thomas, you should dress up as well. And I know that we have a guest also from Namibia. So if she could also please dress up, or at least turn on her camera so we can at least see her and just greet her real quick. That would be great. Guys, please do
So what
open
animal
up your lights in your
have on my
camera so
shoulder?
there's lights, action, and go, you know.
So what animal do I have on my shoulder?
Animal
Elephant.
on your shoulder.
What is it called in India?
Oh, Hathi.
Ganesh. Ganesh.
Oh, Ganesh. Okay. That's
Thank
a
you.
god.
That's why I have it on my shoulder.
Yeah. I'm going to take a 120-second timeout. I will be back.
Who is here for the first time? Anyone?
I repeat myself because it's not recorded. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. We have come to the evaluation portion of our meeting. This is extremely important part of our meeting for us to grow. The purpose of the evaluation is to give both positive comments and suggestions for improvement. Hopefully, each speaker will feel encouraged by aspect of their speeches that went well and motivated to make their speeches even better for the next time. Let us call our first evaluator, who is evaluating Verna, is Thomas, who is evaluating Verna's speech. Let me welcome Thomas. Thomas, you can start.
All right, before I begin, can all of you hear me clearly? Awesome. All right, hi everyone, especially to Fiona. Today, Fiona shared with all of us about the growing market of English training in China. And clearly after today, we certainly know that it is not just the market or my tummy that is growing. It is also her speaking, delivery, and development, because she has indeed improved leaps and bounds from her previous speech itself. I'll split my evaluation into two parts: points I love to comment and tips I love to recommend. So what are the excellent areas which she had performed? Firstly, it was her overflowing confidence and conviction. She verbalized her words with crystal clear clarity. It was audible, yet not overly powering, and the pause fillers were minimal, which really helps her to convey across the message accurately and acutely. And we know that she's truly assured and affirmed by what she shared. Not only that, she developed eye contact with the audience, and she had an upright posture because she truly exuded confidence. Secondly, it was the personal story which she weaved into her sharing itself. She did not just share with us information, she shared with us transformation. For example, how she used to be exploited for her limited knowledge in English, and finally, diligently and tenaciously embarking on the journey of learning English to become who she is today. She even shared with us some of the tools she used to learn English. For example, the MP3 itself, and I don't know why my thumb is up. Chan. All right, and all of this helps to develop the authenticity and sincerity of her sharing. It develops the audience connection because we know that she's truly sharing from the bottom of her heart. Now, I would love to give some recommendations so we can refine this speech of hers so that she can truly become a grandmaster of public speaking. So firstly, Fiona, this project requires you to develop a well-researched speech. So what you want to do is to integrate facts and statistics showing the growing market of English training in China. Indeed, show us how it transformed over time, because now in China, more and more people are seeing the importance of learning English. So ask some facts, figures to research and development, and from there, it elevates the credibility and authority of your sharing itself. Secondly, I encourage you to reinforce the organization of your speech structure itself, because you shared with us a wealth of information, lots of information. I truly appreciate that. But with such information-intensive format, we may be lost in the sea of content. So something for you to consider is to have a preview at the start of what you are going to share, followed by keywords at each part to know that you are going on to the next part. For example, first I will share about, second I will share about, third I will share about, and finally wrap it all up with a summary itself, because summary helps you to reiterate the points and reinforce the message into our mind. All right, so in summary, I'd like to congratulate Fiona because she was overflowing with confidence and conviction, and she used a personal story to elevate the sincerity. Do consider to integrate facts and statistics about the growing market and reinforce the speech organization, and I'm sure you will be a spectacular speaker. Back to you.
I'm waiting for.
Okay, thank you, Thomas, for his evaluation on webinar. Let us call the second evaluator, Saifu, to evaluate Angela's speech. Saifu.
Hi, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You all can hear me, right? Just wave your hand if you can. All right, okay. Today I have the Angela. I've heard of you so many times from different clubs. All right. So sorry, my internet connection is unstable. So moving on. Today I will be evaluating you based on what you actually did well in your presentation and what you actually need to improve on. Okay. Let me just go into what you actually did well. For your speech itself, for your speech itself, it is actually a great transitioning where you have actually your body, your beginning, your body, and then your conclusion itself. I love the way you were saying about all the bad luck that actually happened to you from actually you went from vacationing, got into the coach broke down, then you were actually taking some photos and you didn't really look left, look right, you got hit by a car. Then you woke up in a hospital that is well known of that you do not know of the language spoken there. Last but not least, they give you the x-ray of your bones. Maybe you can share with me the x-ray itself. It will be very interesting. Okay, so that is what you actually did well. What you actually need to improve, or what you actually can improve, is actually, as you can see, you need to have your eye contact with the audience itself, even though it's now virtual. I noticed that your eyes were actually looking up. I know you were reading your script out of it, but then you were tend to look down into the screen, into the lens itself, to the audience. So it is possible that maybe you want to lower down that tablet or your script somewhere near to the lens itself, so that people is actually looking at your eye contact itself. Okay. Secondly, to be honest, you were not kind of the frame of most of the speaker itself. Usually we have to show a bit of your head, most of your head actually, and a bit leeway, so people actually can see you. While you were doing your speech, I noticed you tend like moving forward, moving back. I'm not too sure why is it, but try not to do that, because people want to see your wonderful, gorgeous face, ma'am. So try not to lean forwards, or else, maybe they can see so clearly your black kids and all. So yeah, try not to do that, okay? Next up is your vocal varieties, ma'am. While you're actually transitioning from yourself to the coach itself, there may be some vocal varieties. Maybe the coach, tour guide was actually saying that, okay, everyone, just let's alight down from these bars and get onto another coach, because these bars, this coach is actually broken down. Yeah. Then you move on when you're actually being hit by a car while you're in the hospital. Don't tell me you were actually kind of monotonous when you woke up in the hospital. If I were the patient, I would be like, what the hell happened to me? Yeah, so give some drama into it, ma'am. So your vocal varieties need to be improved on for the next speech itself. That's about all. So in conclusion, I hope for the next speech you try to remember what you need to improve on, so that you can get better, ma'am. Thank you very much. Toastmaster of the day, back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Saifu, for giving us valuable feedback on Angela's evaluation. Let's go to the third evaluator, Muchi. Are you there, Muchi Rama?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
You can start now.
Can you let me have the share screen authorization? What do you see behind me? Mount Everest. And our esteemed distinguished Toastmaster, Patricia Lam, has already climbed the mountain once by getting the DTM. Like climbing the Mount Everest first time, she's on a journey of 1,000 miles with few first steps and repeating the process. Also in a new system called the pathway. Some of you are very familiar, but someone like me is still struggling to adapt from the books to the internet forums and information. Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests, and of course, especially Patricia. It was a delightful speech. First of all, when somebody says they're going to entertain me with humor, my funny bones are already tickling. Hey, I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to enjoy. And she did. Guess what? I thought the speech was so far only 2 or 3 minutes. I was waiting to hear more. And that's okay. Sometimes you're so passionate about the subject and it's coming out so smoothly. There is no reason sometimes to stop because after all, the audience liked what you said. And I got 5, 6 different feedbacks in the chat book, and I hope I can share it with you. Let me see. There's a problem of my sharing. I don't know exactly. I want to do it right, so let me double check. And just to emphasize, technical difficulty with Zoom meetings are going to be with us at least few more times. I want to share some of the feedback I saw in the chat room. From Sydney, Australia, that was enjoyable, Patricia. I could see you enjoyed yourself. Time flies when we are having a good time. Jennifer Lim, good speech, Patricia. I enjoyed it. Thomas Chen, he's the funny bone character. Yes, it was humorous. Jokes are certainly better than mine. Ha ha. Lee Buckley, again, one of the distinguished Toastmaster. I'm laughing now. No need to wait for 3 hours. Patricia, Esther Green, Patricia, I enjoyed your speech. And only thing she was having challenge is the technical difficulty, just as I had the technical difficulty to get to the right screen. Overall, a great speech. Salute to you, to your journey to the next Mount Everest climbing. Thank you so much. To you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Kakamuchi Toastmaster Muchi Rama for his evaluation of Toastmaster Patricia Lam. Let us go to the last evaluator, that is Toastmaster Gerald Yaw, experienced Toastmaster. He's an experienced Toastmaster for AIA Toastmaster Club, and he is a well-famed, respected, lavish evaluator. Over to you, Gerald.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Willie. Hello, everybody. Good evening, and especially to Linda and Lily. Linda, I must applaud you for the well-executed delivery of your project. And it was so smooth, and also it was well within time, and also the smooth conduct of the dialogue with Lillian, and how you did all the step right in executing a non-defensive response to a criticism. And I was just thinking, this is actually very well done. And how could you be better? How could you add spice to your project? Then I thought, maybe what you could do is add on some, first separate your speech between the narrative speech segment of it and the dialogue by using vocal variety. See, because I hear the same voice as I recall. And two, when you add vocal variety in your dialogue, it become more real. It will also become like when you give your reason why why it happened. Use a bit of vocal variety, note the emotion of guilt, and maybe the emotion of you want to plead with somebody that please forgive me, it is something I need to do because I'm a smoker. I just cannot do without it. That makes a lot of difference. Whereas you just continue in the same tone. That vocal variety does add spice, elevate your dialogue. And thirdly, I thought in your summary, it's also well executed. You covered all the grounds and also speak with vocal variety. This time, add the voice of conviction so that you can tell you are the authority and you are experiencing it and you walk the talk. Speak with authority, speak with conviction, and then you'll ace it. Right? All in all, a job well done. Good job, Linda. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you. Evaluator, Toastmaster Gerald Yong. While I will call next, I will pull up the poly. For the best evaluator, I will continue the next part of the evaluation. Can I have the timers report? Where is the timer? Okay, thank you. Timer, Sasha, thank you. Madam Grammarian, can I have your grammarian report, please?
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. I had the pleasure of evaluating the speakers tonight. Let me just, sorry, Mr. General Evaluator, I was just pulling up a file. We saw a lot of ingenuity displayed tonight with a lot of attendees using the word of the day. I would like to congratulate the Toastmaster of the evening, Vikana, for using the word 4 times. The table topics master, Adeline, 3 times. During his table topics, Dr. Mukles once, Shirley Charles once, Mahifa once, and Patricia in her speech used the word once as well. Congratulations also to the interviewee, Li Lim, for using the word of the day. I was also glad that a few people during the breakout or the chats, sorry, the breaks in between, use the words in the discussions or in the chats. I am mindful when I was listening out to for the incorrect grammar and incorrect use of the language that we are all from diverse background and English may not be our first language. What I've done is just listed a few sentences where I've heard the incorrect use. Okay, and I will also give you some notable phrases as well. One example, show by action than by talking a lot. Okay, a better way to phrase that will be lead by example or actions speaks louder than word. Lighted the world. Okay, a better way to put it will be lit up the world. Many of you are itching to start. I know it's very colloquial, but if you say many of you are eager to start will be a better way. I like my own self. Okay, perhaps you should say I like myself. All the women in the audience, all the women in the audience. So hopefully you guys understand me. Hopefully you would understand me. I would be share. A better way to say is I would like to share. And thank you, Angela, for picking up the error. Instead of if I am, it should be if I were. Popular social medias, okay, popular social media platforms. I will detail on that part. I'll provide more details on etc. Grow a sharp eye. A better way to put it is be more alert to. You hear me good? Can you hear me well? Withdrawing and walk away. Okay? If we have the ing at the beginning, then we should have the ing in the second word as well. So withdrawing and walking away. We could have a chit chat over coffee. And I know that's very colloquial as well. A better way would be we could have a chat over coffee, or let's have a chat over coffee, or even perhaps let's have coffee together. Okay? What excuse to give it to him? What excuse to give him? What you actually did well and what you actually need to improve on. So remember, actually is one of the words that we look out for in the counter. Okay? You could just say what you did well and some areas for improvement or personal growth. Phrases that I like, Abdul Karimi, sometimes I do wish I have 2 wives. Adeline, superpower to eradicate all the viruses in the world. Peter, mirror, mirror on the wall, when he had the table topic on if I was Snow White's stepmother. Angela, I wish you could come back in a year's time and speak 12 languages. And she finished with adios, au revoir, and 谢谢. Patricia, the journey of 1,000 miles begin with 1 step. When people throw lemons at you, you make lemonade. And I love her ingenuity when she says, you don't have to buy Google lunch. Linda, clean and caring government. Okay? Listen, acknowledge, and paraphrase. Vikana, I love how he say, add the word of the day to your repertoire. Thomas, PIP, which means praise, improvement, praise. Diligently and tenaciously embarking on the speaker's journey. There were a lot of words that he was using, but my fingers were too slow in typing. Dr. Mukles, like the mountain behind me, she has already begun her journey of 1,000 miles in climbing the mountain. Gerard, how could you add spice to your project? And to finish off, our president saying, creativity is the most important leadership style. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Premier. Let us go to our counter report. Toastmaster Saifu. For his part of.
Yeah. So sorry about that. Yep. Just give me from toilet. Okay, so starting with where is it? There was so many. Okay. Okay, maybe got a long list. Nope, not this one, not this one. Okay, let's start off with our table. The Toastmaster of the evening, Mr. Vikanan. You got 10 10 or 2 5, so you got around 25. I stopped counting already. Then our language evaluator, you didn't have a round of applause for her. Let's move on to our speaker. Ma'am Fiona, you have 3 5 the ERM, the just now 5 is URM. Then you also got 5 so. Angela, do not have any pause fillers? A round of applause for you. Then Ma'am Patricia, you got 10 so 5N. Ma'am Linda, you do not have any pause filler, a round of applause. Okay, let me go to the table topics. Where did I put? Yeah, somewhere here. Oh my God. I got right here, table topics. Where? Okay, here I go. Okay, let's see. We got Dr. Muklish. Is that right? I pronounced your name, so sorry. Yes. You do not have any pause filler during the table topics. Excellent. Then Ma'am Shirley, you have 6 and 5 2 Peter, you do not have any pause filler. And Angela ma'am, you have 2 Mr. Rajan, you do not have any pause filler. Esther, you do not have any pause filler. Mr. Abdul Karim, me, you don't have any pause filler. Mr. Mahifa, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 2 N. Then if I'm not wrong, Mr. Ahmad, you got 5 so. All right, let me just go to the evaluator. Okay, so for the evaluator, Thomas, you have 1. All right. Yeah, I know, but yeah. I do not count myself. I don't know who's counting. Mr. Gerald, you do not have. Duran, you do not have any pause filler. Excellent. Dr. Muklish, also you do not have any pause filler. Peter, also excellent. You do not have any pause filler. And back to you, Willie. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saiful, for the out-counter report. Let me evaluate the meeting as a whole. Now I'm going to provide my evaluation. The meeting went smoothly. The meeting started on time. The transition did not went smoothly. So I would suggest, okay, the first role I will be evaluating will be the table topic master. The table topic was creative. And I understand that the table topic master have asked the audience to volunteer themselves, and it might have missed overlooked at some point. Suggest that she use a PC, and then so that she can know who is chatting, who is volunteer for the role, or she can choose the audience. This is so that you will not waste the time, because the time wasted is waiting for people. Typically, most of the Singapore online meeting, we choose the person, not we ask them to vote, because people are really slow. So it's best to unmute themselves, as well as say that, for example, either you are unmuted, so we choose to take out the table topic. So you will not waste the few seconds. The few seconds add up, you wasted around 3 minutes. So you left one. The table topic usually is 10 speakers, but because of the time wastage, there should be a 10 speaker for the table topic. Over back to the next evaluator. Toastmaster Thomas made a lot of points in his evaluation. I would suggest that Thomas cut down to the minimum so that and make the maximum impact, because he's rushing for time. But the evaluation of Wenna was very straight to the point, and I do not have any question of it. It's just to help improve Thomas' evaluation in the future, to slow down, to cut down the number of points, not to cover too many points, because we cannot understand, we cannot remember what you are saying. The next evaluator is Toastmaster Saiful. Toastmaster Saiful highlighted a few points to Angela for her improvement. It would be better if he can invest in a good lighting system like what I did, spend $20 or $30 so that we can see his face, because he's also dark. The next evaluator,
I got so many pooping and a lot of acne. Sorry, not pretty.
Still handsome.
Let us go to the next evaluator, Dr. Muchi. Dr. Muchi have evaluated petition in a very nice note showing the various chat share screen. This This is a similar example of evaluation that was done by Toastmaster Aaron Leong. So he's following his style of taking notes of what was the reaction of the audience that create another form of evaluation for us. I mean, a pass point for us to follow for him. And Toastmaster Gerald Yong did highlight some point about leader speech, but I would like to evaluate all the speaker and the appointment holder that all you should not use virtual background because virtual background will cause your system performance to go down. If you are not speaking, yes, you can use it. But when you are not doing any roles, please try not to use virtual background because your resource will tone down and it is very distracting. Overback and my evaluation will be, the next part will be on the Toastmaster of the day. In Toastmaster meeting, as a Toastmaster of the day, we normally use project, objective, evaluation, eventer, and timing. I suggest you print out the Toastmaster script and customize according to the meeting theme so that we can have a smooth transition. Because at center point, as a club president, as a Zoom master, I have to step into my web because we are online. Our video are recorded on YouTube. It's live. So when people look at the video, they say, how can a Toastmaster meeting be unmanaged? I would suggest one suggestion that for members of Singapore Online, we are going to conduct an online Toastmaster training for all members, whether they are new or old, so that they can familiar with the basic feature of an online meeting. It's different for a physical club online, the physical club online meeting because it's via closed door. But Singapore Online is open door to the whole world. So if the transition is not very good, people will not return to the meeting. People will leave. And the voting, remember, voting is part of a Toastmaster of the Day section that you have to remember as part of your script. Because without voting, either the club president or anyone will have to remind you, and recording will still pause, will still record when the discussion was there. I can see throughout the whole meeting, I can see many interaction, many of you was laughing, joking, laughing away to the speaker, to the team, the way we dress up. It was very creative, all thanks to Toastmaster Lee Bali, who is the team leader. Let us wave her applause to her to give her support, say that she is a very creative team leader. Singapore Online chapter meeting is managed by team and supported by the club president and the BP of the club. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Vikara. Toastmaster Vikara.
Thank you, Willie, for a great evaluation of everybody's role and what all everybody did. It is a learning role, and as we learn, we keep growing. So thank you. Some great points for me to improve on and a couple of other points for other people to improve on. And definitely with newer technology, we just got to keep adapting, learning. Sometimes we have problems, that's okay. If you have a problem, don't think about it because you're just going to mess up the future. So just keep moving forward and you'll be fine. Now, Willie, if I can just have you pass the baton back to me so we can figure out who is the actual winner, that would be really great. Go ahead. Okay, thank you. So on this piece of paper, which I'm unfolding, I actually have the winner listed as the best or most creatively dressed person. Hopefully, everybody has really enjoyed this meeting, has had a lot of fun. I saw a couple of glasses at the start. I'm going to just also raise my glass to the winner already in advance, as I'm not sure So if all of you can just raise whatever glass you have with you, just so that we can toast to the winner. And the winner is Dr. Mukul Raman. Here's to you, sir. And if you can all pay attention to Lee Buckley's screen, she has something right there for you. Can you guys all see it? Can you see Lee's screen? Great, 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 great. Well, this kind of brings us to the end of our program. We started with table topics. We went to prepared speeches, we went to evaluations, we've gone through the various role holders reports, we've gone through the general evaluator report. Hopefully everybody's had a great time, and I know some of you have not really managed to use the ingenious word too regularly, but please do use it. I am going to hand the virtual lectern back to the club president, Willie, to do his closing ceremony. And over to you, Willie. Here you go.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Have you enjoyed this creative meeting? You want more? Join us. This meeting will not be possible because there's one creative director in this meeting. That is Toastmaster Lee Buckley, who is Singapore Online next term incoming Vice President of Public Relations. So you will see more creative poster other than this creative meeting that she's lead as a leader. Creative meeting leadership doesn't mean that you forget about the meeting protocol that was set by Toastmaster International. We still need to follow what we are told to do so as we bear the logo of Toastmaster International. Because we are not corporate world, we are a Toastmaster club. Creativity is on the theme of how you wear to the meeting, how you make the meeting creative, like what Toastmaster Elodie, who is doing her table topic the first time, and she do it very great. She need to be more to take on the role table topic more, and perhaps Toastmaster of the Day. Remember at the day. The dressing was, I was surprised by one person, that is Dr. Muchi Rama, who dressed up in Easter, which we never expected because some of us dress up and some of us dress up, not dressing up. Never mind, let's forget. Let's talk about the dressing. I just hope that Dr. Muchi can really make the membership payment to Singapore Online we are still waiting for his payment to be part of the team so that he can teach us to be more creative in our thinking. Actually, not thinking, sorry, I repeat. Listening, thinking, doing, speaking and doing, because we need such a tender for the other part of the world. Let us give 1 minute of time to Dr. Muchi Rama to speak so that he's convinced that Singapore Online is him, and we need his creative leadership. Dr. Muchi, you want to give you a minute to speak? Oh, he's busy.
Can he unmute? I think he's trying to unmute, right?
Yes.
Is he unmute?
Sorry, I had to step out, but I love this club. Yes, I'm 100% committed. I just have to manage the timing. So let's see, what happens in the next couple of days or week.
Or he got disconnection.
I didn't hear the question, but do I have anything more to say? Or what's that?
Yeah, carry on first. No, you continue because you were disconnected.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? Okay. I am so proud of this club. I lived in Singapore for 3 years, and the hotel Shangri-La was my home for almost 3 years. The picture that I showed you, I stayed between Orchard Road, Shangri-La, and the one in Sentosa. So it was fun time. I have a lot of admiration. This club is a great club. You have people from all over the world. Thomas Chen is a great evaluator. I know he speaks a little fast, but I think that's also an important style for people to pay attention, because if you speak too slow. So I'm learning, and I'm learning from Willie how determination, dedication, and hard work can build a club from zero, or the first step, to the top of the Mount Everest with presidential distinguished club status and everything else. And Lee Buckley, I mean, look at her. She's about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in Australia. I know I've been in meeting with Singapore at 3 a.m. in the morning for almost a year or two. So it is hard, but you love it. That's why you do it. So I'm so glad to see you, Lee. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Muchi, for his feedback. Let us go to our creative director, who to give her some time to speak why she has this creative idea. Toastmaster Lee Bali.
Thank you, Mr. President. It was all a team effort when we came up with the ingenious idea of creativity. As you can appreciate, we dressed up, we had a team meeting, and we came up with different ideas. So thank you, Team 1, numero uno. We shall party after this. What I was really proud of the team was the teamwork, the ownership, and the contribution from all the members. I think if I'm just looking around, almost all the team members attended the meeting tonight. Okay? But it was not just the attendance, it was the background work behind, putting together this meeting as well. And thank you, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed the meeting, and please continue to support Singapore Online, and you shall see more creativity or ingenious ideas in the future. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lee Buckley. Let us have Toastmaster Adelaide, the table topic star, the beauty, table topic beauty, to give her experience as a table topic master the first time.
Oh yeah, I actually enjoy it a lot. I have a lot of fun. Most importantly is I get to unleash my own creativity. When I was designing the topics, I actually had a lot of fun researching and coming up with funny topics. And I love it so much because I'm not the one speaking, it's the rest. So I just imagine everybody's going to have so much fun. So I really enjoyed the whole process, and thank you, Buckley, for giving me such a big task. And I hope, I didn't disappoint the team. Thank you.
Thank you. Toastmaster Adelaide Yo for her thoughts of the role. Toastmaster Vikaran.
I didn't quite realize I was coming back up on stage. I thought I was done, but
I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Experience being a Toastmaster online. Share your experience.
Well, you guys have seen me all out here. You see how much fun I had, so it kind of speaks for itself. I have fun, I enjoy it, and that's about it.
A physical club TME.
Well, let's not get into the nuances between online and physical club. that's best left for another discussion or topic. But each has its own plus points and each has its own negatives, just like anything else in the world has. There's always positive and there's negative. There's a yin and there's a yang. And back to you, Club President.
Okay, thank you. I believe I will ask one more last person, our guest, Toastmaster Hannah from Namibia. Oh, she's busy. Okay, how about Linda? Okay, Toastmaster Hannah, can you give us your feedback about the meeting? You have attended our meeting numerous times. Was this
Yes,
the
I have. Thank you very much that I could attend. It was very interesting. All the speeches were awesome. Evaluations, especially your tablet topics, they were fantastic. I would have liked to, but I didn't have the courage. Next time. Keep well.
Thank you
and
very
then
much.
until next time.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
very
and bye-bye. Have a good weekend.
Remember, even we have a Toastmaster us creativity talks. I repeat. Even we are a Toastmaster club, we have to follow Toastmaster International meeting protocol to start our time and our time. We can have fun using meeting themes like what we have every week. It's not about putting Toastmaster meeting every week where people just say, this is just another Toastmaster, a meeting that I want to attend. Nobody want to attend because it's not working hour. Using team can spark up creativity in all the members. So fellow Toastmasters who are a club officer in your physical club, use team to attract new guests and make the meeting very interesting. We are, just to tell you something that we did it today. We have go back to 3 hours meeting today instead of the usual 4.5 hours. That will be for Diwali, that will be 7 a.m. Will be 4 a.m. her time. So we have go back to our usual 3 hours meeting where a lot of people feedback to me. 2 weeks later, the traditional program will end, and Singapore Online will no longer accept anyone who want to do their advanced project. And we hope that in the new term pathway, everyone of the club will continue to move to pathway. Forget about the district club. We are undistricted, so we go for something that district club always go. We'll go for triple crown again this term. Okay. One more thing I just overlooked, and I will going to do something. Where is so? Can everyone show your video? I go to see. I go wish to see virtual background. I want to see your face because the face is the most important. The reaction that we can see you. We're going to see a virtual background. Can we have a round roll? The best table topic go to Toastmaster Peter, who have been away for some personal reason, have just came back. The best speaker is our guest speaker, Linda Ong, for Braddell Heights Advanced. The best evaluator go out to Mr. Thomas Chen. What could be the best evaluator, best table topic? Best evaluator, speak more at Singapore Online. The PPE, Alicia, and myself, the club president, will want you to take part more. We don't want you to be left away in the corner. We want you to book your speaking slot, appointment role. Without you, the meeting will not be so successful week after week. And now, I declare the meeting closed. I will end